Weeks after an ammonia leak in a crash in Teutopolis that killed 5 people, Illinois state lawmakers are trying to keep it from happening again. Today, State Representative Niemerg and State Senator Chapin introduced the Construction Safe Detours Act. It would bar IDOT from doing construction on parallel roads in the same area at the same time. That would try to ensure a detour route. It would also require GPS companies to have someone available at all times to be in contact with emergency services about construction and possible hazards.
Everybody in Effingham County will tell you that the accident that happened 3 weeks ago in Teutopolis was a direct result of the construction on Interstate 70. Everybody I talked to said it was just a matter of time. We saw this coming.
IDOT also would be required to consider damage caused to roads on detour routes when estimating construction costs.